Hi everybody, so today I'm going to do a review of the ESV Story of Redemption Bible, a journey through the unfolding promises of God. So this here is just the dust jacket, and you can see the way that the light is hitting that. This is all done in gold lettering, and it's actually really pretty. The spine has ESV Story of Redemption Bible and the Crossway logo, and that matches what's on the spine of the Bible itself as well. If we look on the inside of the dust jacket, it's going to give us some of our features, which are a 9.25 Milo font as far as for the biblical text, and on the notes it's an 8.5. It's a single column paragraph format, nearly 900 notes of running commentary by Pastor Greg Gilbert, all new book introductions, 80 plus all new maps, illustrations, and timelines by illustrator Peter Voth, a fold-out timeline in the back, and premium cream-colored paper. And then each one of the books of the Bible is going to have some artwork that is within a circle that's on it. So it's really nicely done. Here is some information on Greg Gilbert, if you'd like to pause and read that. And then here is some information about Peter Voth, who is the artist who's done this one. And then we'll look at some of the information on the back here. So it tells us the Bible is the grand sweeping story of the unfolding plan of God throughout the history of the world. So this particular Bible, it tells us here, the ESV Story of Redemption Bible, a journey through the unfolding promises of God, leads you through this epic storyline from start to finish, with nearly 900 running notes written by Pastor Greg Gilbert, acting as your tour guide throughout the whole Bible. Then it just tells us some of the same stuff that it did on that other section there. So this one will give you a greater understanding of the overarching storyline of Scripture as you see your place in the greatest story ever told. So, really neat. I like the way that they've done this one. Here is our Isbn number. And if that doesn't focus well enough for you to see it, it's also in the description box, but it's printed really small on this dust jacket. It also tells us it's $39.99. But you can get it for less on Amazon as well as christianbook.com, and I will put a link in the description box as well. So let's look at the Bible itself. So this one here is a hardcover edition. The measurements on this one is 9 1/4 inches tall, 6 1/4 inches wide, and it is 2 inches thick. So pretty thick Bible. We have nice black head and tail bands, and you can actually see the folds of the signatures. So nice sewn binding. We do get a bookmark, which is really nice when a hardcover edition comes with one. We can see that we just have plain page edges. This is a nicely done hardcover. We can kind of see a little bit of the texture there on that black cover. And then the spine on this one matches the spine that is on that dust jacket as well in the gold. So you can see how the light reflects off of that. Really pretty. So this one would definitely look nice with or without the dust jacket. Inside we have a paper paste down liner, which is going to be typical for a hardcover, but it does have a nice design. And then it also says Story of Redemption Bible. We can see like a little gate there with the cross. Then on this other section we see English Standard Version and the ESV logo there. And every one of these is going to have something different in there. So it'll alternate, and we'll have the ESV insignias, but then we'll also have the artwork, which we're going to see inside the Bible. So they did a really nice job with that, and it's kind of on a gold colored paper. Then we do have a couple pages of blank cardstock, so you do have a little bit of space for notes. And then we get into a really pretty, nicely done presentation page. You can see the gold on that, so that just looks really pretty. So I'm going to pan down this so that you can see the whole thing. And on those outer edges, it's kind of a bluish, like a bluish gray color on that outer edge, but really nicely done. And then in the center here, we can see our stitching. So nice sewn binding. So this Bible is going to lay flat for us right out of the gate. So that makes it really nice. And then our next page here, our title page, is all also done with the gold, which is really nice. And every one of these different little artist renditions here that we're going to see as far as these illustrations are representative of something, and it's going to tell us that in the back of the Bible. So this one's pretty obvious. When you look at that one, you know that that one's going to represent the cornerstone. And then this one here, it's got a boat with some water, and this one is actually representing Paul's journeys through the Mediterranean. And we've got a dove that tells us in the back that that one is for the Holy Spirit. And then we can see here that that is the altar for the burnt offerings. Hopefully you can see that, the way that the gold is done. And then we've got the Ark of the Covenant. And then this one here represents the walls of Jerusalem. But really pretty the way that they've done that with the gold. It reminds me a lot of the ESV Illuminated Bible that has all the gold in it. That's exactly what it reminds me of, and especially with this paper as well. So there's our other title page. Now this is from Crossway. Here's our publication dates on here. This one is printed in China, and it is the 2016 text edition. We're going to have our typical contents page with the books of the Old and New Testament, and then we've got the index of the title illustrations and the reading plan, and we'll see all of that here in just a moment. We've also got a chronological overview. So if you wanted to look at the Bible chronologically, you could follow this. And then what's nice with their reading plans is they have two different ones, and one of them is also more of a chronological. So here's an introduction to the ESV Story of Redemption Bible. So I'm going to hold that right there so that if you would like, you can pause that, because this is really a neat Bible. So if you're kind of on the fence, then definitely pause and read this so you can see what it says on here. And then that way you'll know for sure if this is a Bible that you want to get. But it is really neat. And so it tells us down here that it is to help us read the Bible with a greater understanding of this grand story. So they did a great job on this Bible. Then we've got a preface to the ESV. So if you've never read the ESV, I highly recommend reading that. And then we're going to get into the Old Testament. And we can see this is our cream-colored paper. So in some lights it does look yellow. And under some different lights, like the lighting in my kitchen right now, kind of gives it a little bit of a glow down there in the gutter. But then in other lights it doesn't do that. So here is our book introduction for Genesis, so you could pause and read that if you would like. And then the artwork on this one, we can see that that is the ark. We can see the water, and then we can also see the rain. So that is really neat. Then we're going to get right down into the text, so we can see that it is the single column paragraph format. And so it's not too wide, so it's not too bad. You don't lose your place a whole lot, which is kind of nice. And on the chapter numbers, you can kind of see that number 1 there, how that sparkles. So all of the chapter numbers are in gold, so that is pretty nice. And in our margins, there's plenty of space to take notes in this one. That margin is 1 1/4 inches. So as we've seen on the dust jacket, told us that it is a 9.25 font as far as on the biblical text. And you can see on our page numbers and as far as our chapters here, those are also done in gold. Then we've got our notes down here at the bottom. Those are in an 8.5 font. So nice and readable. And this text in this Bible is line matched. So when you look at it right there, you really don't get any ghosting at all. So it is really easy to read from. This color on this paper is actually really nice in low light situations. And I like the way that they've kind of broken up the notes. So on this left page, we've got some notes on the bottom. And then we've got a little bit of notes on the top. We've got a few verses of the biblical text, and then more notes down along the bottom. And so I've enjoyed reading out of this one. I've had it for not quite 2 weeks now, and I'm actually really enjoying it. But the paper and everything on here is really nice. I love the way that they've got the gold on there. And the line matching in this one is really impressive. Even in the sections like the poetry books, they did a great job on the line matching. And I like the way that these illustrations and maps are in the gold, because this is something you're not going to see this in any other Bible. But to me, that's just really nicely done, the way that that looks. And it doesn't interfere with the text on the other side. You can see it more in sections where there is no text, but it's not distracting when you see some of these maps and illustrations. It doesn't bother you when you're reading on the other side. So I've got a few of these bookmarks so you can kind of see what some of the illustrations are. We've got a nice 2-page spread here with Solomon's Temple. Nicely done. This is a very nice paper. I don't know what the GSM is, but it is very nice. Has a very nice feel to it. I believe that it's in the 30s as far as GSM goes, but I'm not sure. I could not find any particular specs on it. We do have one ribbon marker, so this is a black ribbon. We can see that it is just a single satin, and it wasn't stuffed in there too good, so it's kind of all wrinkled up. But I wanted to show you the poetry sections here. So if you look off to this side here next to the ribbon, you see all that text behind it. But when you're actually reading the text that you're looking at, you don't get any distractions on there. You're not seeing any of that ghosting that you would see over here. So they did an awesome job on the line matching of this Bible. This is a great one to read at nighttime because the color of the paper is actually really easy on the eyes, even though it seems really glowy right here. It's just the light that I'm at in the kitchen. So we're going to get into the New Testament, and then we're going to have our book introduction to Matthew and get right into the New Testament. Now there is a lot more illustrations in the New Testament than there is in the Old. You've seen that we only seen a couple of them in the Old Testament. So I'm going to show you the ones that are in the New. And I'm not sure if I bookmarked them all or not, because they are a little bit harder to find because they're a little bit more subtle in the gold. But I have enjoyed the notes that I've seen in here. I didn't really notice anything unusual or anything strange at all within this Bible. So we've got a artist rendition of the tomb of Jesus, so that's really neat. But a really pretty Bible. And lots of space for notes. So if you're looking for an ESV and looking for something a little bit different and then want to have some space for notes, this would be a good one. It's not very expensive. And if you like this one but prefer a nicer cover option, they do have this in a genuine leather as well. They've got a really nice leather one on their website, so definitely check that out. But the print in this is just absolutely fantastic. And tons of space there for your notes, but you just don't get any distractions when you're reading this. Then we're going to get into the index of the title illustrations. So this is going to tell us like here we've got Genesis with the ark, then we've got Exodus as far as with the locust. Then we did see that one on the cover, which was the burnt offering. But so there's a nice illustration for every single book of the Bible, and it tells us a little bit about it down below. So really just neatly done. And this definitely reminds me a lot of the illuminated Bible with the gold. So we're going to have all of those pages that have all of the illustrations and a little bit about them. Then we're going to get into the daily Bible reading plans. So we've got the suggested reading plan here, which is going to have a lot more of the chronological orders on there. And then we've also got the orders of the books in the canon. So you can choose either one. So I think I might try this one here as far as the chronological order. I think that might be kind of fun. And then in the back we have this really neat fold out timeline. So this is really neat. And the way that the timeline goes, when I first looked at it I wasn't sure, but it kind of goes up and down versus across. So I'm just going to kind of pan this for you so you can kind of get an idea. I'm sorry to go back and forth, but that's kind of the way they've designed this. But it's actually really neat. And we end with the new heaven and the new earth. But I think that's really cool the way that they did that. Now if I can get it back in there just right. And then we just get right back to the back of the Bible. There are a few more pages of blank cardstock. So lots of space for notes in this Bible because you have the blank pages in the front and the back, as well as the 1.25 inch margins within the Bible, so that's pretty nice. But this is an awesome Bible. I would definitely recommend this, so definitely check them out online. So again, it's the Story of Redemption Bible. This one is by Crossway, and there again is our ISBN number. But a really pretty Bible. This would make a great gift. Christmas is just around the corner, so start thinking of maybe some of the Bible gifts that you might want to get some of your loved ones. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.